the sponsors, they are proposing to have the next summit in Malawi. We are very ready, and I'm inviting you all to Malawi. Where is development going to be? To me, and this is my own theory, but I would like you to embrace it. It's coming back home on this continent. You may believe, you may like it or not, but I assure you, we are going to witness explosive in terms of development on this continent. In recent times, several African Union member states, including Malawi, where I'm coming from, have committed to supporting innovation and providing incentives to the business community and to promote entrepreneurship. Some EU member states have formulated and implemented some legal frameworks and ecosystems to aggressively support and promote small businesses, SMEs, and startups. Let's commend those who are aggressively supporting their small-scale businesses. That's the only way we can push this continent to where we want it to be. Let's be aggressive on that. And how to achieve that, I don't have to overemphasize it. I've already said it. Let's produce, and don't stop there. Let's buy what we are producing. Then we are done. However, as an entrepreneur myself, I'll be the first to admit that despite all the administrative progress so far achieved on reforms and new policy guidelines embraced by member states, we still have a long way to go on the ground. Planning by people at our level, by our heads of state, is being done, in my view, efficiently. But when you go on the ground, there is almost zero. We can't move on like that. We have to act, and the time to act is now. The potential of the African private sector, particularly the small and medium enterprises, SMEs, has not been fully unleashed to contribute to employment creation and economic transformation as planned in the 2063 agenda. It is true, we have got time, because 2063 is not tomorrow. But I repeat, the time to start is now. If you don't start, maybe you'll never start. I've given you an example of my own country. We started at almost the same time, the 2020 vision, with Malaysia, maybe with a year or two difference. Malaysia is way, because they did a lot, sending people for training, doing proper privatization, selling businesses to people who know the business better, government holding on to certain shares to make sure that things are going right. They did a lot. As we speak today, Malaysia is hundreds, if not thousands of kilometers away, or ahead of Malawi. Let's make use of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and move on. Small and medium-sized enterprises, especially startups, are saddled with many obstacles, including unfriendly, restrictive policies, difficult in movement of people and goods across borders, poor infrastructure, particularly in power and transport, increasing skills gap, intra-trade restrictions, tariff and non-tariff barriers to Africa imports and export, difficulties in obtaining medium and long-term finance on affordable terms, and a large informal sector. We have got a very big informal sector. Let me emphasize this. Maybe the others are clearly known. An informal sector is not bad. It contributes to the development kit. But the biggest problem we have is the majority of them don't pay tax. and the majority of them get too involved in smuggling. We need to nurture that. We need to manage that. Let's make sure that each and every organization, small or big, is paying its fair percentage of tax to government, because the government has got a lot of programs to implement. So let's start training our informal sector so that at the end of the day, they are being formalized, they are being properly registered, they are being properly trained, they are being properly told that smuggling will never get you anywhere. You'll simply be making another country rich, and at the end of the day, you'll go back to your poverty. Let's do proper formal trade. Let's get ourselves organized. Let's do a lot of trade within the continent. Let's do a lot of production. We've got almost all sorts of raw materials here: steel, agriculture produce. All these are the base for serious manufacturing. But more often than not, we are exporting all these crude. There has been a cooking oil saga recently. It is slowly stabilizing. I will again give you a small example of my own country. It became an issue, it became politically sensitive. The same cooking oil we take for granted. I had to struggle to cool it down. But at the end of the day, since we are now bogged down to find out why is cooking oil prices going up, we discovered that we grow a lot of soya, we grow a lot of groundnuts, we grow a lot of sunflower, which are the raw materials for making cooking oil. But ask me what? All of it is exported raw. The seeds are crushed in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, in Kenya, in Tanzania, and exported to Malawi as crude cooking oil at a price 4 times the farmer got by exporting it raw. Does it make any sense to anybody? We have to wake up and start looking at these things seriously and see what is that we can do to make our continent's resources benefit Africa. I have talked a lot in general terms. Let me share you a few things Malawi is doing. Whether we are doing it well or we are doing it wrongly, you will tell. I cannot judge myself. But as a government, we are doing quite a lot to support industry, and particularly so small scale. And what are these? To achieve industrialization, Malawi has done the following. We established a technical, entrepreneurial, and vocational training authority, abbreviated as Divinity. Its mandate is exclusively to train entrepreneurs. And there are several training programs going on throughout the country in every district. Government also established small and medium enterprise industry, abbreviated as SMEs. SMEs is also a training institution, but practically. They have got a set of machines where people are trained how to operate those machines. Whereas TVET, this is under my ministry. Whereas TVET is a theoretical training on industry and commerce. They don't get involved into hands-on. Whereas SMEs is a hands-on. Here is the machine, this is what it can do, this is how it is operated, etc. So, it is intensive, we are doing it religiously. Government is pumping a lot of money into these 2 organizations, and we are moving gradually. Malawi has set up special economic zones, EPZs. These zones are industrial zones where Malawians as well as foreign investors can get a piece of land to start productivity without getting into unnecessary hassles. It's automatic. I'm in Malawi to produce. This is my business concept. This is my project proposal. Can you assist? My minister will take you to an industrial zone, allocate you a piece of land, do the rest of the formalities, start your business. As simple as that. We also set up MITC, Malawi Investment and Trade Center. MITC is the link between foreign investors and Malawi government. Their main mandate is to link foreign investors to their counterparts in Malawi if they want to go into partnership, or assist them in the process of setting up a business in Malawi. They don't charge you anything. It is straightforward. Even your project proposal, they can assist you to polish it up, convert it to a bankable project proposal at no cost to you. We have export processing zones. Those people want to export. We don't want them to be bogged down with revenue authorities. They have got their own zones where they produce specifically for export. They only meet the customs people at the border when they're exporting. All that facilitated by government. There is Export Development Fund. This Export Development Fund is a loan facility managed by government through Reserve Bank, where when you have got export business or export-related production activity, they finance you. They give you all the required financing, and at the end of the day, you have no reason to complain that I didn't export because I didn't have financing. The export financing is readily available. We have got National Economic Empowerment Fund, NIF in short. This one is for the micro. Those small business operators, they get loan from this fund at very special interest rate. We have got agriculture commercialization project. In the area on, our agriculture is the supplier of maybe the biggest raw materials for our industries. So Malawi discovered that a lot of industries are strangled because of financing. So we came up with this fund, and its purpose is simply to facilitate value adding of our agriculture products. They facilitate importation of processing machinery, procurement of raw materials from farmers, and all that goes with it. And at the end of the day, it is free money. They only need you to put in a 30%. They give you 70% free of charge. It's a unique facility. It's free of charge, just to make sure you are in business of value adding to our agriculture products. We have financial inclusion. Entrepreneurship is caring project. This is purely for promoting entrepreneurs in whatever aspect. We simply don't want our small business operators to get bogged down on issues which are that straightforward. We recently, in 2020, we gazetted an MSME order for MSCs to participate in the procurement by government. We observed that government tenders go to big companies only, and at the end of the day, small business operators were being sidelined. We now said, no, let's make sure that our small operators, SMEs, are participating in supplying to government. So 40% of all government procurement is supposed to be done to the small business operators. 60% is general. And it's working very well for us. They were sidelined, and I'm sure it's happening in most countries. We have got the Buy Malawi campaign strategy to enhance local products buying. I said earlier that more often than not, we believe a foreign product is superior than our own. We have a program which is being intensively advertised, encouraging people to buy Malawi. It's not working as some of us would like to see, but it's moving gradually. We need a lot of publicity. We need a lot of push. We need a lot of negotiations with supermarket chains owners so that those products, one, are produced, two, are made available on the shop shelves. Because there's a tendency, even by big retailers, the ShopRites, I'm sure there must be ShopRite here, the games, sidelining the local products. They say, oh no, we are getting our products from South Africa, or we are getting our products from Kenya. We are saying, no. We produce similar products. While we don't stop you from importing, but give us a fair share of your shop shelf. And it's slowly getting through. Development of commercial and industrial cooperatives. I got a PS. Whole PS solely responsible for working with people out there, teaching Malawians to work together in cooperatives and associations. So we are saying, let us put our business operators into cooperatives. They must be sharing ideas. They must be contributing their capital to make something big. They must form a block which can even be trusted by banks. And that is working very well. And as I said, there's a whole principal secretary responsible for that. We are moving. We are not where we want, but we are moving with a lot of confidence. Incubation centers for new entrepreneurs, incubation through SMEs. I talked about SMEs. It is an organization which is nursing business startups. And we are marching slowly. We are not where we want, but we are moving with confidence that we'll get there. The Revenue Authority, they have, more often than not, be a hassle to the small business operators, holding them up at border posts, harassing them at times, demanding bribes at times, etc. A lot of unnecessary hassles to our small business operators. Government has said, no, let's do something to this. We are creating what we call one-stop border post. Small traders can stay one whole day, at times 2 days, before clearing their goods, as we speak now. But this one-stop border is aiming at having a border post here on the Malawi side, having a border post on the Tanzania side, and when one clears, electronic clearing for that matter, clears on the border, on the Tanzanian side, for instance, he will not stop again at the Malawi border. Likewise, when he's coming out of Malawi. And we are saying a maximum, very maximum, must be 3 hours for this particular importer to be detained at the border. That's what this one-stop border post is aiming at. We believe we have not set up it. We are working on the appropriate legislation. I'll be presenting it in Parliament. Maybe this sitting, currently Parliament is sitting in Malawi. And we will start with Mchinji, which is the border between Malawi and Zambia. Once we set that border up, we'll learn a number of things. We'll set up in Dedza, we'll set up in Mwanza, we'll set up in Mulanje, we'll set up in Songwe. We have got 5 main borders. We want all those borders to have one-stop clearing facility. Let me now turn my attention to the trade and investment opportunities in Malawi. Malawi is small, but it has got a lot to offer. And a lot. When I say a lot, it is a lot. And I should invite you to come to Malawi and see things for yourself. I also invite our friends in the diaspora with interest and capital to come and do business with us. I can assure you of a health and very friendly business environment, plus a very liberal investment regime. Very liberal investment regime, what do I mean? In Malawi, you are free to invest in any format. In other countries, you are compelled to have a local partner. And in other countries, they even tell you the local partner must have controlling share of your business. That doesn't exist in Malawi. You want to invest 100%? Welcome. You want a local partner? Welcome. With a local partner, what percentages? As you wish. You don't get such facilities in other countries. Some of the specific investment opportunities in Malawi are fertilizer manufacturing. We don't have a reliable fertilizer manufacturing production unit. If any, they may be very tiny. We are heavily agricultural. We grow thousands and thousands of acres, and agriculture is our mainstay. So we are now seriously looking at investors who can put up fertilizer manufacturing plant to cater for the whole farming community in Malawi. Formation of mega farms. In the old days, we had press agriculture, which had farms all over the country. But they slowed down. We are now saying, how do we make use of this land? The land is there, very fertile, and we are saying investors are welcome to establish mega farms. And these mega farms must be using local labor, must form cooperatives with people to produce extensively, to feed our industries with adequate agricultural raw materials. Power generation, it goes without saying. If you have to industrialize, you need power. We have opened up. Okay, our power generation was monopolized by a government organization called ESCOM. It's no longer. That monopoly was broken. Private investors are now busy investing in the power generating industry. Construction of secondary schools and universities, it has gone private. Emmanuel, come and set up a university in Malawi. You are more than welcome. Construction of referral hospital. Our referral hospital, national referral, is very old. It was built in the early 50s. In fact, it was opened then when we were a colony by the Queen Mother, late, may her soul rest in peace. Many, many years ago. We are now saying, no, let's build a proper national referral hospital. Those are projects opened to foreign contractors. Feel free to come. Construction of Mulanje Gravity Flow Water Project. We have identified that, there's a lot of water on Mulanje Mountain, the third highest mountain in Africa, which can feed a number of cities, Zomba, Blantyre, and the water can flow gravity because it's coming from a mountain. It will be at low cost, and it's more than enough to cater for a number of cities and villages for that matter. It's a big project, open to international investors. Textile spinning, we grow cotton, but we're exporting it raw. We're inviting investors to work with us. Commercial farming, the third biggest lake in Africa. We have developed a caging fish breeding technology. We are saying we don't have the capacity. At the moment, there's only one company doing it, but we're inviting more entrants into the fishing industry in Malawi. Corn and cassava starch production. We grow a lot of maize. A lot of it is wasted. We grow a lot of cassava. Cassava is even worse. It has got short life. So we are saying, please, bring your technology. Solar water heater manufacturing project. Small outflower sugarcane production. We are big in sugar production. It's done by big companies, but they are now saying our hands are tied. Can't Malawians participate to grow sugarcane for us? We have already started, but that has been opened to foreign investors. Simple drinks. Currently, we're importing drinks. We had Coca-Cola, who closed for whatever reason some time back, sold the joint, and whoever buys is not interested in the fizzy drinks. We are importing a lot. Some of it from Tanzania, from Kenya, from Zimbabwe. We are saying, no. Let us find investors. In any case, this is water. Why import? I have spoken enough. There is a lot available in Malawi. There is a lot available on this continent. How can we exploit our resources to benefit Africa, to benefit Malawi, to benefit Uganda? I must say, without fear of contradiction, that we have been exploited enough. As a continent and as countries, let's put that to a stop. Let's pull up our socks and move. In conclusion, I call upon all the African youth to embrace entrepreneurship and start their own enterprises and help develop the Africa we all want by 2063. Before I thank you and say bye to you, I've got a few hints to give you. In 1968, I was in secondary school then. My father told me, a lot of people can be brilliant business people, but a lot fail. Do you know why, my children? I was sitting there with my two brothers, on holiday for that matter. We said we don't know. And they fail to take care of the 3 pillars of their businesses. And which are the 3 pillars? Very simple. You are a banker, you are a customer, and you are a supplier. He said, people think I'm rich. I'm not. I'm only very honest and faithful to these 3 pillars. An old man in 1968, you can imagine. That has kept me going with my businesses over the years. I started business in 1974. Yes, by Malawi standards, I've been successful. But these are the 3 pillars. I'm selling these 3 pillars to the entrepreneurs. Please take care of these. Not only one of them. Because if one fua in Malawi, we cook nsima, that thick porridge. I'm sure here it is available. It's a common food. We cook it on with mafua, 3 stones. And if you move 1 stone, that pot will not hold. Am I right? So these are the 3 pillars my late father told me. So I'm selling this to the entrepreneurs. Please take care of the 3. Every business will be successful if these 3 are available to you. If one goes away, the other 2 cannot be sustained. Number 2, civilization. To me, civilization and development are all one. Started in Africa, in Egypt. From Egypt, it went to Europe. As Europe was exploding with development, it slided down to the US and other American countries, Canada, name it. As the American continent was exploding with development, it went round to Asia, starting with Japan. We have heard of Asian tigers, who are big exporters to this continent. And it's coming slowly. India is developing, Malaysia is developing, Indonesia is developing. Asia will in no time explode with development. Where is development going to be? To me, and this is my own theory, but I would like you to embrace it. It's coming back home on this continent. You may believe, you may like it or not, but I assure you, we are going to witness explosive in terms of development on this continent. I'll end by saying, countries which are going to be prepared for this explosion or development explosion on this continent are going to reap huge benefit. Uganda, watch out. Kenya, watch out. Ghana, watch out. Malawi, watch out. The list goes on. I must thank the sponsors. They are proposing to have the next summit in Malawi. We are very ready. And I'm inviting you all to Malawi.
So we pick travelers, our typical customers are people flying in and out of the country. So we pick those from the airport to wherever they're going and back. And we do this through a network of driver partners for whom we give regular business and improve livelihoods. They can book through WhatsApp, they can call us, they can email us. You know, we just try to make it as simple and convenient, as seamless as possible for our customers.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
I first met UMB when I was at the crossroads of my business. I had a serious problem, and UMB has made it possible for me to still stand today. How did they do this? They did not work and put me in a box. They looked at me as an individual and got a product from me which helped me to survive the period. Banks should look at it and see how they can also go that way to be able to meet individual customers, tailor products to suit the individual customers, and not to just box everybody together.